Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be doing the Melbourne versus Western Bulldogs in game recap and going through how Melbourne absolutely dominated the Western Bulldogs and how it sort of changed my thinking a little bit on what to do with players, as it's all about a cash generation game at this point, and swapping our I guess not our premiums but our sort of mid prices and rookies are sort of the go at the moment. So anyway, before we get into this quick recap, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, we have Billings a 140. What in the world just happened? How did he get a 140? And you know how he did it? Well, he did it because he ended up with something like 15 marks. Let's just look at his stat line. Here we go, 23 touches, 15 marks, 5 tackles, 1 goal, 1. Now the problem for me is, what does he sit at when he returns to normality? Because if he returns to normality, I would expect about 10 less marks, and that takes about 60 off his score, but isn't 80 still good enough with the bye included? Then we look at his fixtures, they're quite hard. So, and I'm looking at Nat 5, and this is sort of the decision I have to make is Nat 5 has North Melbourne this week. He should dominate North Melbourne. Then he's also got West Coast in a bye round. Whereas if we go here to Melbourne's fixtures, they have Hawthorn, Port, Brisbane, and a bye in the best 18 as well. So I'm looking at that and thinking, I don't think Billings will do terribly well, but Hawthorn will allow him to probably kick a goal or two. So I'm looking at that and thinking, I would probably rather Fife anyway over the likes of a Billings. One, because Billings, well, he's not going to be sub anymore because that was the dumbest thing ever. If he wasn't sub, I'd be jumping all over Billings. And then you've got, because just look at that. They've got North and also West Coast. I could see Fife doing it. And I'm also more willing to jump on Fife because I've got D'Ambrosio at the moment, who's like 2 or 3% owned, something like that. He's really low owned. So that's why I'm probably going to hold firm on Billings and go for Fife instead. But I could also see Billings having games like this where he just goes nuts. So that's probably one that it'll probably end up being Billings, but one that I could see not being the right. I'm probably going to get the call wrong basically between Billings and Fife. So that is basically what I'm looking at there. Gorn 137, he was great and is going to be a captaincy option now. I should have gone him over Bont. You'll see when we get to him, had the ultimate fade out of fade outs. We had the same discussion last year with him as well. Petrarca 121, he was great, especially in the last quarter. Got a lot of, I think he ended up, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, where is it again? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think did he end up with 10 marks? Did Petrarca end up with 10? I think he ended up with 10 marks, which is a great return. Yeah, 10 marks, 2 tackles, 29 touches for a 1-2-1. That is exactly what I sort of expect out of Petrarca. So that'll be an interesting one to look at once he gets out of his bye. Main 119, he's been really, really good to start the year, but I'm still not going to go for him just because he's a key defender and we've seen how he goes in the past. And yeah, I don't think it's one to jump on. Oliver 114, he's dropping a little bit. Let's just check Oliver's price. 9.98, but he's resurrected his break even to a certain extent. Has Hawthorn. Could they tag him potentially? I think they could. So I'm gonna stay clear a little bit until after his bye, as he probably should drop to 950. And a 950 guy like Oliver, who's going to collect 32, 33 touches, as well as I would suspect once he gets his fitness back up, as he looks pretty fit, but he doesn't look 100%. Does it show time on ground at all? If we were able to find his time on ground, which I can go through here, I believe. Fixtures match stats 71% against the Bulldogs. I think if he gets up to 80% there, he's going to have those big games. So I'm looking at him post his. But don't they have the round 12 as well? Just thinking about it, Blake Howes. Let's just check. They have round 14. Okay, so I'm looking at that and thinking that I want Oliver when he gets when they get out of their bye. So round 7, 8, 9, I need like Oliver, well, I'll have Flanders by then probably, and Dacos as well, and some other guys that I need to grab. But they'll sort of all fall in which one has the better matchup and the better scoring potential each week, because Oliver and Dacos are both potential 130s on their day and probably 115 averages across the season. Viney 100, he's been going all right, but as I said, him with the early buy, I don't think he's going to be too much of a cash generator and has the early buy, so I'd rather just go for someone that doesn't have it, like a Steele basically, or a Butters. McDonald, Salem midfield role looks really good when he actually gets it, but yeah, he got a goal to end the last quarter, which basically helped his, you can see here, he had the biggest junk time I've ever seen, 15, 18, 21, 25 points in time on in the last quarter, really helped him get up to an 88. He was stuck on about a 63, if you look at that. And then his time on in the first, in the first quarter as well, he had, he had 26 as well. So he had like 51 points in time on in the first and the last quarter respectively. So yeah, I'm not too worried about Salem's scoring getting away from us, to be honest. Rivers, Chandler, Pickett, Lever, Langdon, McVee, Howes, 66. He's going to be a good cash generator, and I think he's just one that will take some junk marks when they switch, because Melbourne seem to like to switch a lot, and that goes through someone through Howes or May, Lever, etc. There's a lot of guys there that it goes through, and I think Howes just picks up. What did he pick up in the end? Let's just look here. He would have picked up match stats, 7 marks both weeks. I think that's sustainable, so I'm going to go with him on field, I reckon. Then we move down, Hall with a 62. I've thought about bringing him in, but there's better, more movable options in terms of both getting cash gen and points on field. So I'm not going to grab him. Would have liked to have seen him play round 0. If he'd played round 0 and had gone up a little bit more in cash, I would have been more inclined to grab him. But anyway, Brown and then Windsor got subbed out, and this is why I didn't like Windsor too much. I know that he did go up in price, but we haven't really, he's gone up 38k or whatever. Would he go up? Let's just see, yeah, 38k, has a 15 break even, so he should beat that pretty comfortably. But for having the extra game, I don't think he's really done terribly too much. He's about 20k ahead of other wingers, etc. Like Sharp even caught up to him and passed him, if you want to classify him. He went up, Sharp went up, where did he go? 35k. He had Lazaro, who's one game, but he's gone up 15k, so all he needs is like a 50 to pass the likes of Windsor. Seth Campbell, even better cash gen out of Seth Campbell, to be honest with you. And then Darcy Wilson as well went up 26k, but he's got the break-even split to get it better. And even the Jai Clark needs just like a 70 to probably go above him. So yeah, I'm not too worried about Windsor, to be honest with you. I don't think those sort of middling grounds of 50s and 60s don't really take the game away. Then Royan, Neil Bullen, Sparrow, Fritsch, Whedon, no one there really relevant. English 113, he's going to dip in price, but I think he is the target for me. Him or Marshall, let's see who's going well. They're both going to be 115 guys, so I'm not really worried about who I pick at the moment, as they're both tracking well. They're both losing a little bit of cash, as we see here with English. If we look here, English is down 5k. He's got a 134 break even as the magic number starts to dip, and that's really going to hurt his break even, as he's got Wits, which should be a tough matchup, so I expect him to lose another 20k. I think we can pick him up around 1 million, which will be good. Johannesen 99, Libba 90, Bont 90, they all just faded so hard. You can see the points difference, 333 between Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs. Bont had the ultimate fade out of fade outs. Look at this, 24 in the last half, and he also was on, so he basically went from the 30-minute mark of the second quarter, he went 20, because he had a tackle taken away at halftime. So yeah, he just absolutely sucked, and I'm not too worried in the long term. Yes, he will burn cash, but he's going to be a captaincy option when Western Bulldogs play like West Coast Eagles, etc. So I'm not ultimately worried about Pomp, but would have liked to have seen him get that 30 disposal game, that 110 that we really wanted. Trelaw, huge. Bramble, did a huge third quarter, not really worried. Dale, Ugelhagen, Dale, Sanders of 68 and got subbed. That was dumb. They went on a 48-15 run or something like that, Melbourne, when Sanders got subbed. He was taking the game on, and that's why he had the turnovers and the clangers. But it wasn't like it wasn't the clangers that McNeil and others were producing, and that's why McNeil should have been subbed, in my opinion. But anyway, Bevo does Bevo stuff. West, Waitman, Richard, Williams, Gallagher. Gallagher looked all right, but I'm not going to pick him up just yet. Wait another week if I need to. Caulfield, I hated that performance. I'm getting him out. He probably is going to produce an 80, but I don't care. I want the cash gen out of the likes of D'Ambrosio and stuff like that, so I'm getting out of him. Daniel, 44, his price is going to drop quickly, and he's probably not ever going to be in my side just because of Bevo. But if Bevo gets sacked, Daniel will probably be the first guy in just because he's going to get a full-time role, and a full-time role could be 100. Just put him at halfback. It's simple as. Just put him at halfback, and he works his magic, and that's that. Harms, 44. Yeah, he was just never there. Some people saying that his role was going to be great. Yeah, no, this was what I wasn't expecting this bad, but I was expecting him not to produce that well. When he doesn't get the midfield role, he doesn't produce well. McNeil as well, you can just see here what is going on with this. Karmas, Norton, and Lobb. And yeah, we raced through that Western Bulldogs section just because they are hopefully going to be more fantasy relevant in the future with English, Bont, McRae potentially, Daniels, Sanders still if he gets the full game in, because you shouldn't have sub Sanders in that situation. But anyway, that is the video, and I'll see you guys in the final recap of the day. Bye guys.